This is Savvy365 bringing you information as it relates to incorporating versus LLC registration, articles of incorporation, Internal Revenue Service registration, copyright application, and how you can obtain information for Small Business Administration grants, loan opportunities, and those directly from the United States federal government. There are a number of people and entities that are promising to show you how to obtain this information and how you can go about securing this information, but they also come with very steep prices. This information is readily available online for free, and you can follow these steps here to obtain your registrations in just a matter of minutes. I'm going to explain to you some differences between the different types of registration, provide you links so that you can see fees associated with these registrations, if any. It is important to understand the difference between articles of incorporation and bylaws. Each state in the United States, including the outerline islands and possessions, all have an application process for articles of incorporation. This tells the jurisdiction in which you are in that you are going to do business as an individual or as an employer of two or more people. Now, the bylaws tell the state how you're going to do your business. It spells out the day-to-day operation. You can obtain templates for your articles of incorporation and your bylaws online for free. I've made available some links for you to follow, so you can save yourself about $3,000 in startup just by taking some time to do some research. Literally, you can spend about 30 minutes, 2 or 3 days a week, get your paperwork in order to launch your business. The United States Internal Revenue Service has its own separate registration process. This registration process is for individuals doing businesses as LLCs, sole proprietorships, etc. This registration process also spans brick and mortar businesses who may or may not have an article of incorporation on file within a certain state. But most important, I want you to understand that the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, provides e-services and e-registration. This starts with a fee of $67. I strongly encourage it. You can self-manage online, you make your payments online as a self-employed individual, etc. At the end of the year, formal forms will populate for you at no additional cost. So you can easily obtain an IRS tax identification number or an employee identification number, commonly known as an EIN. It's free of charge. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can achieve this within a matter of minutes. But one thing you do need to keep in mind that if you're going to take advantage of the IRS e-services, you have to make sure that your personal contact information, including address history, one, is accurate, two, current. If not, get on the phone, figure out what's going on, or you can take time to download the forms, which are available online for free at irs.gov, and you can send them in. Let's move on. How does this relate to obtaining funding by way of the Small Business Administration, or SBA, in terms of grants and loans? Okay, so if you take time to register yourself or your entity, when you complete a formal application with the SBA, one, you will already have this information. Two, it would also lay a foundation for you to become more competitive for funds such as grants directly with the government. It can also open doors for you to become a contractor with the government as a for-profit business or as a nonprofit organization. I always tell people, when you're thinking about launching a business, you don't always have to do so as a for-profit entity. You can also do so as a nonprofit entity, meaning as a 501c3. And again, that's a separate process that requires additional application fees and or registrations. Onward to how this relates to copywriting with the United States Copyright Office and or the Library of Congress. I strongly recommend that if you're going to take time to formalize registration as an individual, so proprietorship, LLC, and or incorporation, this often involves making logos, developing trademarks. Hopefully you go as far as patenting things. Which will be more money for yourself. I say take your time to. It is important to understand how this information relates to trademarks, patent, and copyright. You can always copyright with the Library of Congress and the United States Copyright Office. I mentioned both because there are different types of copyrights one can apply for and thus achieve for a nominal fee. You can check this information out at the links provided. The information is on screen for you. So let's move onward to additional information as it relates to copyright. It is very important that when you're starting a business to consider branding, trademarking, and patenting potential logos and other pertinent information, especially if it is unique and you can prove that it originates as your intellectual and or tangible property so that no one can infringe upon it in the future. With this stated, it is also very important that you leave an advance testament, will, assign power of attorney, mention an executor for your estate. All of this can be done by following existing templates. Again, you can look online for free templates. You can modify them, but you can also buy software at your local office supply retailer that have this available on CD-ROMs or by way of an activation code for that particular product. With that, most often are redirected to a website or an online portal that will give you free unlimited access to various types of templates. Again, small investment. Always look for something under $50 where updates and renewals are free. Thank you for tuning in. I will definitely be back next week. Enjoy yourselves. Be careful.